Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some super cute, super easy, super practical paper crafting. Stay tuned. So today, guys, we are going to keep it very simple and very light, but you are going to love this project. What it is, and I'm going to hold it up so that you can see, and I'm going to open it and just turn it, and hopefully you're getting a good look at all of this gorgeousness. Now I am going to be using mine as an ephemera wallet because I plan on cutting out some cut aparts and other small pieces of ephemera, and I am going to send this out as some happy mail. But this is perfect, absolutely perfect, as a coupon holder, or you might want to keep track of those receipts. This is great for that. Or you might want to drop this in your purse so that you can drop whatnots in it throughout the day. So easy to make, so simple to make, and like I said, so practical. So y'all know what time it is. It is time to make it. Go for it. All right, guys, so to make our project, like I said, it's going to be very simple. We are going to need 2 pieces of chipboard, and my chipboard measures 5 1/4 by 6 1/8. Then I have a scrap piece of my decorative paper, and I will be cutting this down, but right now I am starting with the width that is 2 1/2, and we'll trim it down later in the project, but you're going to need to start with a piece that is 2 1/2, and this piece that I have here is 2 1/2 by 12, but again, I will be cutting it probably in half. And then I have 3 pieces of 10 by 10 cardstock, and then I have a piece of my decorative cardstock, and this cardstock measures 12 by 9. And the cardstock that I'm using on this project is called Morning Frost, and it's from Kaiser Craft's Memory Lane collection. And then I'm also using Kaiser Craft's Misty Rose, and it is also from the Memory Lane collection. So we're going to start our project with the 3 10 by 10 pieces, and we'll make a score at 2 and a score at 8 on one of the 10-inch sides. Then we'll rotate it to the other 10-inch side and score at 5. And we're going to do this on all 3 of our papers. So your scores are at 2 and at 8. And then we'll rotate it to the other 10 side, score at 5. And we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to score at 2 and at 8. Rotate it and score at 5. So then we're going to fold and burnish all of our scores. So I am going to bring in my big old spatula and just fold and burnish all of my scores. And there are a couple questions about the big old spatula, why I use it. I use it simply because it covers more space in one pass. You can use your regular bone folder, whatever you have to burnish, you can use that. I just like to use the big old spatula because, like I said, it does cover a large area, especially when I'm smoothing out like this. Okay, so once we have everything folded and burnished, if you have a ruler, you might want to pull it out, but all we're going to do is make a cut from here to here. So this is on that 2-inch mark. I'm basically going to make a cut, and that's not the straightest line, but I'll be making a cut on all of these just like this. So I'm going to do this with my scissors. I am just going to come to that point and trim. I'll come over to the other side and do the same thing. And you're going to end up with a shape. When you open it, it's going to look like this. So I'll bring in my next one, and again, all I'm doing is when I have it folded like this, you've got that score mark right here. I'm going to go to the corner of that score mark and just cut to the corner. And then I'll flip it over and do it on that side. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'll do my third one the same way. So just make sure that when you're cutting, you have got the open ends facing you when you're making that cut out. So you can see that these open ends are facing me. I'll take it and then I'll just cut to this point. So now we have all of these cut. And what I'm going to do, because I don't really need all of that point on this, I am going to, and it's completely up to you how far you come in, but I'm just going to come in about that far and cut straight up. It is completely up to you. And I like to cut mine just because I don't like having that point in the way. Okay, so I want to show you guys something. I actually cut the second one wrong when I was cutting my points, and this is what it's going to look like if you cut it wrong. We need it to look like this. So that's why it's very important that when you're cutting, you have those open flaps facing you. I wasn't even paying attention, so I have a miscut, but of course I'll be saving this and using it. So I have replaced it, and I'm going to turn this towards me, and now I'll make my cuts. So then I'll take this piece, my third one, and I'm just going to cut up just like that. And I'm cutting because I just don't like having that point inside of my little folder. So now that we have it like this, we can take it and turn all of these inward. I am going to bring in my glue, and all we're going to do is we're going to place our glue on one side. And when I place my glue, I'm going to be placing my glue on one side close to the inside line. So you'll see what I mean. So I am placing my glue right there. So on one side of the score mark, I have placed glue. So you really don't need to place any at the bottom. And then we're just going to fold this over. I'm going to use my big old spatula to get that nice and stuck. And you can see that we have a sweet little folder. We'll do the others in the same way. So I'm just going to bring this in. Make sure that it's nice and crisp. Add my glue to one side of the score mark. And you can see that I position my glue very close to that part. I'm going to take this, fold it, and now we can just work on getting it stuck. And so now you're able to see that we have our second folder. So I'll do the third one by folding it in. Place my glue right above my score mark on one side. Take my piece, fold it over, and we're just going to get it stuck. And so now that we have our 3 folders made, we are going to take our glue and we're just going to place glue along the 2 sides. None at the top, none at the bottom yet. So then I'll take a folder and I'm just going to place that folder against the one that has the glue. Work on getting that stuck. And now I'll take my third one and do the same thing. So I'm going to take my glue and place my glue. Then I'll bring that third folder in. And we'll get this nice and stuck. And so now we have our little flexi folder, and we have these additional pockets where we can drop more stuff. So I'm going to set that to the side. I am going to bring in my 2 pieces that measure 5 1/4 by 6 1/8. And I'm going to bring in my piece that measures 12 by 9. And we're just going to place these pieces down. So before I place them down, I'm just going to take these 2 pieces and lay them out just like this. Now I don't want a whole lot of space in the center because we're going to take this and put it in the middle. So I'm not going to need a whole lot of space in the center. So now that I have my spacing, and I have about 1/4 inch in spacing right there in the middle, I am just going to take these 2 pieces and place them down. So now I'm going to use my stylus and go along my edges. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking my stylus, pressing it against the chipboard, and then driving it down into my paper to get my score. And I'm also going to come on the inside here and do it here as well. So now we can stand this up and we can just do a fold over. And then I'll miter my edges. So I'll just come in and angle. So now that my edges are angled, I am going to go ahead and take my tape and place my tape on all 4 sides. And then I'll lift up my tape and fold over my edges. But before I lift that tape, I'm going to take my big old spatula, go over the tape just to make sure that it's nice and stuck to that chipboard, and then I'll peel it away. And then I'll start folding over. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of glue, place it right here on these ends, because when I folded this piece over, I might have some area that does not have my glue coverage. So I'm just going to get that stuck. Do the same thing over here. And we'll take this and get it nice and stuck. And then I'll use my big old spatula to go in on my spine to make sure I have that nicely defined. And then I'll just go over the top, and you can see that we have a beautiful, gorgeous book cover for these coupon holders. And how we're going to do this is going to be so simple. We're going to take it, place it in, and we're just basically going to glue this panel and this panel to these parts. So we will not need a liner piece. So I am going to take my glue and place my glue all over this. And now I can take it, and when I put it in the spine, I want to make sure that I'm pretty even on the top and on the bottom. So then I can bring this piece up, get that nice and stuck, and that is just so pretty, y'all. Use my big old spatula just to go on the inside, make sure everything is nice and stuck. And so now I can take this piece, I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to add my glue. And you don't have to saturate it with glue. I'm just running a few squiggly lines of glue so that I can bring this up and get it stuck. And I'll use my big old spatula to go along the back. Then I'll go on the inside with my big old spatula and get that nice and stuck. And now you can see that we have this sweet flexible folder that we're able to use for so many things. So we're going to go ahead and make a closure for this, and then I might do a little bit of decorating to it, not a whole lot. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just place a magnet. If you don't have magnets, you can also use Velcro on this, but I do have some magnets now, and I'm going to place one right there. And this magnet is a 10 by 2 millimeter magnet, and this is a very strong magnet, so I don't have to worry about it not sticking. So what I am going to do, because this magnet is so strong, is I am going to place down a piece of washi tape to hold that magnet in place until it's nice and stuck, because when I put the closure magnet on it, it is really that strong that it might pull it up if it's not nice and dry. So I am going to go ahead and just set this to the side. We're going to take this piece that we have that is 12 by 2.5, and I'm just going to cut it in half. So now we can take this, and I think what I want for contrast is I'm going to use the polka dots on the outside. So I am just going to fold this over into thirds. And now I can take one side of this and just close it completely with glue. And then I'm going to take my magnet and place it down, because I need to figure out which way it needs to go when I glue it down. So I am just going to take it, slide it off, and not change the position of it, so I know I have it in the right position. So I am just going to add some glue, placing that magnet wherever you want yours. And now we can close this completely. So I am just going to take my glue and place some glue. And you can see that when I placed the magnet, I placed it on the side where my folds would be on the bottom. So when I put it down, the top's going to be clean like that. So I am just going to get this nice and stuck. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just round my ends just a little bit. Not a lot. And so now we have a sweet little closure for this. Now I can take this, and what I want to make sure that I do is that I don't squeeze it tight to close it, because if you're going to be putting your items in here, you need a little bit of flexibility. So I am going to leave some space. So when I'm closing this, I'm leaving a nice little gap so that whatever I put on the inside, because I'm planning on putting flat items on the inside of mine. I'm not going to be putting big chunky pieces. I'll be putting flat pieces. So I'm leaving some space. Now I'm going to place some glue right there on the back. I'll take this piece and we're going to put it down. And then I have these stickers from the sticker book. So I am going to take my sticker, and it says, "Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the sole. And I am just going to take that all the way from the front to the back because I really love how that looks. And so I am going to open it, and I'm still going to leave that washi on there, and I'll probably leave it on there overnight because I do want that magnet to have a really solid stick on it. And now when we open this up, you can see just how cute this is. What I think I'm going to do is when we open it, I think I'm going to just stick in a few stickers. So I have this beautiful sticker book, and I think what I am going to do is I am just going to add a few stickers because I think it'll just be so cute when you open it. So I'm going to take these little birdies. You guys know I love my birds. And I'm going to take these birds and I'm going to put them right here in the back so that when you open this, you'll see them on the inside. So I won't be putting something on every pocket, but I wanted to make sure that on these parts here, that I do add a little something. So I put that one there, and you can see just how pretty that is when we open it. And look how cute that is from the side. Just so gorgeous. So right here at the bottom, I am going to take this little bird and peel him up. And I think I want to put him right there at the bottom. And so I'm going to trim away the excess. We're going to get him stuck. So I added that little bird to the bottom, and I think that that is just so stinking cute. And I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to add something right there. And you know what it's going to be? It's going to be a butterfly. And so we've got that sweet little butterfly on the back. We have the bird on the front. And so now we have this super awesome holder that we can make for so many different occasions. So I'm going to bring that first one back in, and you can see that I didn't do a whole lot of embellishing to it, but it is still so stinking cute and just so flexible. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places where we can actually tuck our receipts, coupons, ephemera, whatever it is you want to put in here. And I added 3 pages to this, but you can add as many as you want because all you have to do is increase your spine space. So it is completely up to you how many pages you want, but I felt like 3 was enough because we end up with 5 places to tuck. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. Be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.